Money doesn't follow the weak, it follows the strong. It doesn't flow where fear lives, it flows where power breathes. The world doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards certainty and energy. When your power grows, money has no choice but to move in your direction. Power is not loud, it doesn't scream or beg or chase, it stands still like a mountain, and everything finds its way to it. That's the kind of power you were born with, that's the kind of magnet inside you waiting to be awakened. You see, money is energy, and energy follows leadership. It flows to those who know who they are, not to those still asking for permission. If you walk with your head down, money will walk right past you. But if you walk like the world is already yours, money will want to sit at your table. Every time you doubt yourself, you push wealth further away. Every time you believe in your power, you pull it closer. Your energy is the invitation, and your confidence is the key. When your belief is unshakable, your bank account starts to reflect your energy. You don't need to chase money. You need to become the kind of person money chases. Stop asking for opportunities and start becoming the opportunities. Stop begging for a seat table and build your own table. Money respects power, it respects structure, it respects leadership. The reason most people never unlock their financial magnet, it is because they live in fear. They think they need money to feel powerful. But the truth is, money flows to those who are powerful first. When your energy grows, when your standard rises, when your vision is crystal clear, wealth can't help but follow. Power begins with self-mastery. It begins when you no longer let your emotions control your destiny. It begins when you decide that your energy is your responsibility. You set your own standard. You stop lowering your frequency to fit weak rooms. You elevate so high that everything you want aligns with you. Money flows where it feels safe and valued. It doesn't want to live in a mind that doubts itself every day. It wants to live in a mind that builds empires in silence and speaks in results. Power doesn't need to scream, it speaks in outcomes. People pay power, not potential. They trust the one who radiates certainty. They follow the one whose energy is undeniable. And you can become that person today, not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, but now. Your energy is your currency. Long before dollars show up, your belief is your foundation. Long before the building stands tall, your action is the spark. Long before the flame roars. And if you want money to flow to you, grow your power. Feed it with clarity, discipline it with focus, guard it with faith, because when power grows, everything else follows. Money finds its home in the hands of the powerful, not the loud, not the needy, but the magnetic. So stand tall, walk like abundance already lives in your pockets. Speak like your words create worlds. Move like wealth is drawn to your energy, because it is money flows where power grows, and power lives inside you. Wake it up, unleash it, and let the world feel your magnetism. Power attracts money, not need. When you operate from a place of strength, certainty, and unshakable belief, you step into a frequency that magnetizes wealth to you effortlessly. Money responds to power like metal responds to a magnet. The stronger your energy, the stronger the pull. People who live in scarcity energy chase money, but people who walk in power make money chase them. This is the silent law of attraction that the world doesn't teach, but the successful live by. You can feel it when someone walks into a room and their energy commands attention. They don't need to talk about success. Their presence speaks louder than their words. Money senses this power. It senses clarity. It senses leadership. And like a river flowing toward the ocean, it naturally flows toward that power. When you carry power within you, the world rearranges itself to match that frequency. Opportunities begin to appear, doors begin to open, and people begin to trust you with their energy and their resources. Money is not emotional, but it reacts to energy. It doesn't care about how much you need it. It cares about how much power you stand in. When you beg money, it runs. When you lead, it follows. This is why people who have stepped into their power seem to attract wealth without effort. It's not luck, it's alignment. They are not asking the universe to give them something. They are declaring their readiness to receive what already belongs to them. Power is rooted in clarity. Clarity about who you are, what you stand for, and where you are going. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack a powerful presence and direction. A person who knows exactly where they're going doesn't need to explain themselves. The world can feel it in the way they walk, the way they speak, the way they carry themselves. When you become that person, money wants to be part of your journey. Money loves clarity because clarity gives it purpose. If you're uncertain about your path, money doesn't trust you because it doesn't know where it's going. Either power is built through self-trust. When you trust yourself fully, you no longer look outside for validation or permission. That trust creates an unshakable foundation that radiates strength. You can lose everything and still attract it all back because your power isn't built on external things. It's built on who you are. Money respects that kind of power. Money wants to be handled by those who can hold it without being consumed by it. That is why those who operate from inner strength never truly lose, because even in silence their energy is working for them. You must understand that money doesn't chase desperation. Desperation smells like fear, and fear pushes away everything you desire. You can say all the right affirmations and make all the right moves, but if your energy screams lack, money will keep running. The moment you step into your power and release the desperate grip of needing it, you shift your frequency from scarcity to abundance, and in that shift you become magnetic. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer beg, you command. You no longer wait, you receive. Power is quiet. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't need to convince or explain it, just as money recognizes power the way a lion recognizes another lion. There's a natural respect that happens the moment you stop trying to impress and start embodying power. Money begins to orbit around you. People sense it. They feel safe trusting someone who is anchored in strength. And when people trust you, resources flow to you naturally. Everything starts with the energy you carry into the world. If you walk with your head down, if your energy is small and unsure, the world mirrors that back at you. But if you walk with a quiet fire in your spirit, and knowing in your soul that you are powerful and deserving, the world responds accordingly. Power is not arrogance, power is certainty. It's the frequency of someone who is not asking for life to give them something, but is declaring that it is already theirs. You must stop treating money like a savior and start treating yourself as the source. Money is not the power you are. When you own that truth, you stop giving your power away. You stop acting like a beggar waiting for opportunity, and you start acting like a creator who builds opportunity from within. Money is drawn to power because power can multiply it. Power gives money direction and purpose. That's why those who build empires are not chasing money, they are moving with power. And money can't help but follow. When you embody power, your language changes, your posture changes, your decisions change. You don't say, I hope. You say, I will. You don't ask if you deserve it, you know you do. That energy shakes the air around you. That energy becomes a beacon, and money is drawn to that beacon. It's not magic, it's alignment and leadership. Money loves leadership, and power is the highest form of leadership, not over others, but over yourself. This is the energy that separates those who live in struggle from those who live in flow. The ones in struggle are always chasing because they think money will give them power. The ones in flow understand that power is what gives them money. When you step into this power, you no longer compete, you dominate without even trying, not through aggression, but through magnetism. Your energy speaks so loudly that the world listens even in your silence. You must stop asking for permission to be powerful. You must stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You must stand tall in your truth and let your energy expand to fill every space you walk into. When power grows, everything else follows. Your relationships align, your opportunities align, your income aligns. Your reality begins to bend in your favor because the universe recognizes strength. Power isn't something you get one day, it's something you choose. Every day you choose it. When you trust your voice, you choose it. When you refuse to settle, you choose it. When you walk like a magnet for abundance, and not like someone waiting to be chosen, that choice creates a vibration, and that vibration attracts money like a river flowing to the sea. Money flows where power grows because power is the language of wealth. It's the frequency of trust, of leadership, of direction. When you become that power, you stop needing money to validate you, and money starts needing you to multiply it. You are the source, you are the magnet, you are the power. And when your power grows, nothing can stop the flow that is meant to find you. Inner power is not loud, it's magnetic. It's the kind of force that doesn't need to scream to be noticed. It doesn't need to convince anyone to follow. It's felt before it's seen. It moves through a room without announcing itself, because power doesn't chase attention. Attention naturally bends toward it. Think about the moments in your life when you've been in the presence of someone who carries deep, unshakable power. You didn't need them to explain their worth. You felt it in the silence, in their posture, in the calm confidence that wrapped around their presence. That's the energy. Money responds to money, doesn't go to noise, it goes to certainty. There's a quiet strength in real power that's unbreakable. It's the energy of someone who knows their value and doesn't flinch under pressure, someone who walks like they already own space, someone who doesn't have to prove they're enough because they already know they are. That level of certainty creates a pull so strong that opportunities, wealth, and success have no choice but to gravitate toward it. Power is magnetic because it radiates clarity, and clarity creates trust. Trust is the foundation of all flow, including the flow of money. When power is real, it doesn't rely on show. It doesn't need external applause because it's anchored within. It stands still like a mountain, calm and firm, while the storm rages around it. People who carry this energy don't panic when things fall apart. They don't beg when doors close. They don't chase when opportunities walk away. They simply adjust their crown, breathe, and keep walking, because their power isn't tied to circumstances. It's tied to identity. That identity says, I am enough, I am capable, I am the magnet. And when you live from that identity, life bends to your energy. Money loves that kind of stillness because money follows leadership. It looks for stability. It looks for hands that can hold it without shaking. It looks for energy that can multiply it without being consumed by it. When your power is loud and shaky, money feels unsafe, but when your power is quiet, solid, magnetic, money feels secure to flow to you. That's why some people who don't even speak much seem to attract everything easily. Their power isn't in their words, it's in their presence. Magnetic power is built in silence. It's built in the moments no one is watching. When you're mastering your craft, when you're speaking to your soul, when you're building unshakable trust in who you are. People often confuse power with performance, but they're not the same. Performance is loud and temporary. Power is quiet, and permanent performance fades when the stage lights go off, but power stays even in the dark. It's the fire that burns even when the world is cold. This kind of inner power can't be faked because the universe doesn't respond to performance. It responds to frequency. You can say all the right affirmations, act like you believe, but if your inner world is full of doubt, the frequency won't match. And money knows the difference. It can sense the difference between forced confidence and embodied power. And only embodied power has magnetic pull. That's why when you truly step into your power, your energy starts to work for you even when you're silent. True power is not reactive, it's centered. It doesn't get shaken by temporary setbacks, because it understands that loss is just a part of alignment. It doesn't beg to be seen, because it knows the right eyes will always find it. It doesn't run after opportunities, because it knows what belongs will flow naturally. Power sits in its throne and allows life to revolve around its energy. That's the energy of magn. It's magn. It's don't chase, they attract. They don't move frantically. They simply pull in what resonates. That's what inner power does. When you stop running after everything and start owning who you are, you shift from chasing to attracting. You become the center instead of the seeker. And when you become the center, money begins to orbit around you. People often think they need to be louder to be noticed, but the truth is the most magnetic people are not the loudest, they are the most. Certain power is silent because it doesn't need to be anything else. It doesn't need the world's approval because it's already approved itself. That approval radiates confidence, and confidence is irresistible. Money wants to be where certainty lives. It wants to flow toward those who don't need it, feel valuable, but already know their worth. This is why some people can walk into a room and change its atmosphere without saying a word. Their power speaks louder than their voice. Their presence carries a frequency that can't be denied, and that frequency is built from years of knowing, loving, and trusting themselves. That kind of power can't be bought, but it can be built. It's built every time you choose your worth over your doubt, every time you choose your vision over fear, every time you choose to be the magnet instead of the chaser. Power is magnetic because it aligns with abundance. Abundance doesn't run, it flows, and to align with flow, you must stop being frantic. You must stop doubting whether you're worthy. You must stop trying to prove and start becoming inner power. Creates stillness, and stillness creates gravity. The more grounded you are, the more life is pulled toward you. That's the silent magnetism that moves money. You don't need to scream to the universe to give you wealth. You need to stand so firm in your energy that wealth feels like it has no other place to go but to you. You don't need to beg opportunities to stay. You need to be so magnetic that opportunity feels safe in your presence. Power is not something you chase, it's something you build. And once you build it, once you anchor it deep in your being, you become unstoppable because you've become the magnet, not the seeker. The world doesn't reward noise, it rewards certainty. It doesn't respond to begging. It responds to power. The moment you stop screaming and start standing in your truth, the flow begins to shift. The universe feels your stillness and delivers what aligns. Money senses your strength and chooses to stay. Life moves around you instead of you chasing it. That is the force of quiet power. That is the magnetism that pulls money effortlessly into your hands. Money flows to clarity and confidence because energy always seeks a strong direction. It doesn't move toward confusion. It moves toward certainty. When your mind is cloudy, when your energy is uncertain, when your belief in your own power wavers, money has no reason to trust you. Money is not emotional. It is directional. It needs a leader to guide it, not a follower to beg for it. It needs clarity to flow like a river following a defined path, not a flood of scattered thoughts with no destination. That's why some people seem to attract wealth with ease while others keep watching opportunities slip through their fingers. The difference is not luck. The difference is clarity. Clarity is power. When you know who you are and where you're going, your energy sharpens. It becomes like a laser, focused and unstoppable. The universe recognizes clear intention like a signal, and everything begins to align around it. Money responds in the same way. When your vision is defined, your goals are precise, and your belief is solid, money finds its way to you because it sees a path it can trust. But when you send mixed signals, when your energy says I want wealth, but your actions say I'm not ready, you confuse the flow, and money moves on to someone whose more certain confidence is the bridge that connects your clarity to your results. Clarity alone isn't enough. You can know what you want, but if you doubt your ability to achieve it, your energy weakens. Confidence is the force that turns your vision into gravity. When you move with confidence, you give money a reason to follow you. You don't ask for it, you lead it toward you. You speak in a way that carries authority. You act in a way that signals strength. You walk like the destination is already yours, and that energy is irresistible. People often wonder why they don't attract the wealth they desire, even when they work hard. But hard work without clarity is like rowing a boat without a compass. You may be moving, but not necessarily in the right direction. Clarity gives you every move meaning. It tells your actions where to go. It tells your energy how to align. It tells money exactly where it will be safe and valued. Without it, your effort becomes scattered like smoke in the wind. With it, your energy becomes structured like steel. Money likes structure. Money like direction. Money likes leadership. It flows to those who have already decided that they are worthy of it. It doesn't wait for you to be perfect. It just needs you to be certain. When your energy says I know who I am, I know where I'm going, I know what I can hold, money begins to trust you. Money doesn't flow to hesitation, it flows to conviction. Confidence is not arrogance. It's not about pretending to be more than you are. It's about standing fully in who you are without apology. It's about trusting your power even when no one else sees it. It's about believing in your vision even when the evidence hasn't shown up yet. When you radiate that kind of inner strength, the world feels it and responds to it. People feel safe investing in you. Opportunities feel right aligning with you. Money feels secure landing in your hands. You must understand that doubt is like a wall. It blocks the flow of everything you desire. The moment you doubt your worth, the flow slows down. The moment you question your vision, the signal gets weaker. The moment you hesitate to step fully into your power, you close the door on abundance. But the moment you decide with unwavering clarity and stand with fierce confidence, the wall crumbles and the flow rushes toward you. This is why successful people always seem to have a strong sense of direction. They don't waste energy second-guessing every step they decide and move. They trust their decisions, they trust their power, they trust the process. And because their signal is so strong, money follows their frequency like a compass pointing north. Money wants to be led, not begged. For clarity doesn't mean you have to have every detail figured out. It means your energy knows the direction. It means your heart and mind are in agreement. It means your actions match your words. Your belief matches your desire. When that alignment happens, everything becomes easier. Opportunities begin to appear seemingly out of nowhere. People start showing up to support your vision. Money starts flowing toward your energy because it senses strength. Confidence is not something you wait to feel. It's something you choose. Confidence grows when you take bold action in the direction of your clarity every single day. The more you act, the stronger your energy gets. The stronger your energy gets, the more magnetic you become. When you believe deeply in your power, your words change, your walk changes, your decisions change, and when everything about you shifts into alignment, money can no longer ignore your presence. Money flows to clarity because clarity creates trust. It flows to confidence because confidence creates gravity. You don't need to chase it, you need to lead it. You need to decide who you are and own it fully. You need to set your vision like a lighthouse so strong that money finds its way to you even in the storm. Because money doesn't follow noise, it follows leadership. It doesn't follow confusion, it follows certainty. So stop waiting for the perfect moment to feel ready and decide. Now decide that your vision matters. Decide that your power is real. Decide that your energy is worth trusting. Stand tall in that decision and let your clarity shine like a signal across the universe. Because when you become clear and confident, you become magnetic. And when you become magnetic, money flows to you like it has no other choice. You don't chase wealth, you align with it. Money is not something you hunt down, it's something you draw in by becoming the kind of person it belongs to. When your energy matches the vibration of abundance, wealth moves toward you without resistance because like attracts. Like most people spend their entire lives chasing money with desperation, but they never stop to understand that their energy is actually repelling it. They try to grab what can only be received. They try to force what can only flow. Chasing creates pressure, but alignment creates magnetism. Alignment means becoming a match for the frequency of abundance. It means your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your actions are all pointed in the same direction. When your inner world vibrates scarcity, no matter how hard you work, you push wealth away. But when your inner world vibrates abundance, the universe has no choice but to reflect that energy back to you. Money does not come because of effort alone. It comes because of energetic permission. You allow it in when you align with it. You can't align with abundance while living in fear. You can't align with wealth while constantly doubting your worth. You can't align with flow while clinging to lack. Energy doesn't lie, and it can't be fooled. The universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to vibration. That's why someone who walks with quiet power can attract more than someone screaming affirmations they don't believe in. Alignment is about embodying the frequency, not just talking about it. When you align with money, you stop treating it like something distant and start treating it like something familiar. You stop seeing wealth as something for other people and start seeing it as your natural state. You stop begging and start allowing. You stop chasing and start receiving. Alignment feels effortless because it's rooted in belief. When you truly believe abundance belongs to you, everything around you begins to shift. Opportunities begin to flow. People begin to appear. Resources begin to move in your direction because your energy has opened the gate. Alignment is not about trying harder, it's about becoming clearer. When your energy is clean, the signal you send to the world is strong and pure. Money moves along strong signals, not mixed frequencies. That's why indecision blocks abundance. When your mind is saying one thing but your heart believes another, your vibration is weak and money doesn't know where to land. But when your inner world says yes fully and completely, Wealth feels safe to come in. Wealth is like water. It flows to open spaces. It doesn't stay where there's resistance. If you are constantly filled with fear, doubt, or guilt about money, you create an energetic dam that blocks the flow. But the moment you release those heavy emotions and step fully into the vibration of abundance, the water breaks through and flows naturally. You don't need to push it. You just need to stop blocking it. Alignment happens when your actions match your energy. You can't say you believe in abundance, but keep acting like someone who doesn't. You can't talk about wealth while living in survival mode. Energy and action must move as one. When they do, your presence begins to speak louder than your words. Your vibration tells the universe, I am ready, and the universe listens. The reason alignment is so powerful is because money doesn't respond to force, it responds to flow. When you chase something, you're sending out the energy that you don't have it, and that creates resistance. But when you align, you're sending out the energy that it's already yours, and that creates attraction. You shift from wanting to expecting, and from expecting to receiving. Everything begins with the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who is always chasing, you will always run after things. If you see yourself as someone who is already worthy of abundance, you will attract it naturally. Alignment is about identity, not effort. When your identity aligns with abundance, your outer world has no choice but to reflect it. To align with wealth, you must first feel wealthy inside. You must build the vibration of abundance within your mind and heart long before it shows up in your reality. You speak like abundance lives in you. You move like wealth surrounds you. You make decisions from power, not fear. You release the desperation and embrace calm confidence, because abundance doesn't move toward chaos. It moves toward certainty. When you truly align with money, it stops being the center of your struggle and starts becoming the result of your energy. You no longer wake up every day asking, how can I get money? You begin to ask, how can I expand my power? How can I grow my frequency? How can I allow more to flow to me? Because when your energy grows, wealth automatically follows. Alignment is quiet and strong. It's the silent pull of confidence. It's the unspoken energy of someone who doesn't need to prove anything, because they already know who they are. Money can feel that energy. It can sense it from miles away. It can't resist it. When you align with abundance, you become magnetic. You don't have to force wealth to find you. It comes because it belongs. The difference between chasing and aligning is everything. Chasing is desperate. Aligning is powerful. Chasing says I need. Aligning says I am. Chasing creates resistance. Aligning creates flow. Chasing looks outward, aligning turns inward. And once you master this alignment, once your energy vibrates at the frequency of wealth, money flows to you like water, flowing downhill, effortlessly, naturally, and powerfully. Every powerful person carries an inner standard that does not bend to the noise of the world. They don't wait for someone to crown them, because their crown is already invisible on their head. They live by principles that are not up for debate. They don't need outside permission to feel worthy. They know who they are, and they walk with it. Their power doesn't come from money, titles, or status. It comes from the unshakable standard they set for themselves long before the world notices them. And it's that standard that calls money, opportunities, and influence toward them. When you have an inner standard, everything changes. Your energy becomes steady. Your decisions become clear. Your actions begin to match your worth, because the world doesn't pay people based on what they want. It pays people based on the standard they hold. Money doesn't flow to people who keep shrinking their value to fit in. It flows to those who stand so firmly in their worth that the world adjusts to match their energy. A person with no standard chases validation. A person with a strong standard attracts respect. Inner standards are quiet rules written deep inside your soul. They dictate how much energy you give to fear, how much space you allow doubt to occupy, how much power you let external opinions have over your path. They determine the kind of energy you carry. When no one is watching, they shape how you show up in rooms, how you speak, how you move, how you lead. That's why powerful people don't need to scream. They simply stand in their standard, and everything else responds. Money, love, Strong standards because money is drawn to leadership and clarity when you have a clear standard about what you will accept and what you won't, about how you carry yourself, about the level of excellence you embody. Your energy becomes stable. Money senses that stability and flows toward it like a river to the ocean. It wants to be in the hands of someone who won't be shaken by every wind of doubt or fear. Someone who can lead it, someone who can multiply it, someone who can hold it with power. If your standard is low, the world will give you less. If your standard is strong, the world will rise to meet it. This is the invisible law most people ignore. They lower their standard to be liked. They shrink their worth to fit into comfort zones. They accept less, hoping to get more. But the universe doesn't reward begging. It rewards energy that declares I am worthy of more, not because I'm entitled, but because I've chosen to live at a higher level. Raising your standard is not about arrogance, it's about ownership. It's about deciding that you will no longer tolerate mediocrity in your thoughts, your actions, your environment, and your energy. It's about walking like someone who knows their worth, refusing to settle for anything beneath it. It's about setting the tone before life does it for you. When you live this way, everything starts to shift. People treat you differently, opportunities align differently, and most importantly, money flows differently. When you hold a powerful standard, you no longer chase every opportunity. You become selective. You stop trying to please everyone and start honoring your own value, because your standard doesn't allow you to give energy to things that drain you. It only allows you to give energy to things that expand you, and money responds to expansion, not desperation. The most magnetic people are those whose standards are so strong that they become their brand. Their energy says, I don't chase, I choose. I don't beg, I lead. I don't shrink, I rise. That kind of energy is impossible to ignore. When you walk into a room with that power, the room shifts around you. Money recognizes that energy like a signal and flows toward it because it feels safe in power and unsafe in insecurity. Inner standards build discipline, and discipline builds trust. Money doesn't trust chaos, it trusts structure. It doesn't flow to those who are unsure of themselves. It flows to those who can stand tall in their principles, even when the world tries to shake them. That's why powerful people don't beg for wealth, they attract it. Their standard makes them magnetic. Their discipline makes them unshakable. Their energy makes them undeniable. If you want to attract more, you must raise your standard internally before the external world gives you anything. You must decide what kind of energy you allow in your life, what kind of actions you accept from yourself, what kind of opportunities you're available for. The universe responds to what you tolerate and what you refuse. When your standard rises, everything around you adjusts to match it. Stop waiting for money to give you power and start embodying power, so money can find you. Stop lowering your worth to fit into spaces and start raising your energy, so spaces rise to meet you. Your standard is your signal to the world. If your signal is weak, the world will give you scraps. If your signal is strong, the world will deliver abundance, because power always attracts more. Every powerful person you admire is not powerful by accident. They decided long before the results showed up that their energy, their worth, and their standard would not be negotiable. They became unshakable, and the world had to follow their lead. You have the same power within you. You can set your own standard so high that everything else has no choice but to rise to match it. When your standard is clear, your energy becomes magnetic. You don't need to prove anything, you don't need to chase anything, you don't need to beg for respect, money, or opportunities. They come because your standard pulls them in. That's the silent force behind every great leader, every powerful creator, every magnetic personality. Money flows where leadership stands strong. And leadership begins with the invisible standard you hold inside yourself. Money is a mirror that reflects the vibration you carry within your soul. And the way you see yourself determines the way it flows to you. It doesn't chase desperation, it gravitates toward confidence, clarity, and certainty. When you step into the frequency of abundance, you stop acting like a beggar and start thinking like a creator. And that is where the magic begins. Most people do not understand that money is not just paper or coins. It is an energy that responds to your energy. It moves where it feels valued, and it avoids where it feels ignored or feared. So the moment you start to trust that you are worthy of wealth, you begin to open invisible doors that were always around you but hidden from the eyes of doubt. Your words, your thoughts, your emotions are like magnets shaping your reality with every heartbeat. If you speak lack, you will live in lack. If you speak abundance, you will breathe in abundance and attract it effortlessly. There comes a moment in every person's life where they have to decide to stop wishing and start declaring. The universe does not respond to weak whispers, it responds to powerful commands. You were not born to live paycheck to paycheck or trapped in survival mode. You were born to thrive and lead. And when you understand the language of money, you stop asking for it like a favor and start calling it like a right. When your energy aligns with prosperity, the world conspires to bring you opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs that you could never have planned on your own. This is not arrogance, this is alignment. It is the knowing that your destiny was never small. It is the fire that burns in your chest, reminding you that you are meant for more. The people who attract money with ease are not always the smartest or most talented. They are often the ones who believe without hesitation. They walk into rooms like they belong there. They look at possibilities, not obstacles. They know that money is not a reward, it is a resource. They are not afraid to hold it. They are not afraid to ask for it. They are not afraid to multiply it because they understand its language. Money respects confidence, it listens to certainty, and it answers to those who walk with authority. When you operate with that mind set, you don't need to chase wealth. It finds you like a river flowing toward the sea. It can't resist what matches its flow. Everything changes when you shift from hoping to expecting, and from wanting to deserving. Your energy stops vibrating at lack and starts vibrating at overflow. You stop waiting for someone to save you and become your own rescue team. You become unstoppable because your vision becomes clearer, your faith becomes stronger, and your actions become bolder. Opportunities are no longer accidents, they are divine appointments that were waiting for you to wake up and claim your place at the table. You are not in competition with anyone because abundance is not a race, it is a frequency, and once you match it, no one can block what is yours. Money responds to the way you treat yourself. If you see yourself as unworthy of big blessings, you will settle for crumbs. But if you start declaring that you are worthy of overflow, the universe will rearrange itself to match your declaration. That is why daily affirmations are powerful, because they reprogram your subconscious mind to believe in the wealth that already exists for you. When you say, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am a magnet for money, you are not lying. You are waking up your power. You are shaking off the chains of fear and stepping into your divine inheritance. There is a big difference between wanting money and being ready for it. Wanting is passive. It whispers maybe one day. Readiness is power. It shouts, now is my time. When you step into that mind set, everything about you changes. Your posture, your words, your decisions, and your results. You begin to walk like someone who expects greatness. You no longer make choices out of fear, but out of faith, and faith is the most powerful currency in the universe. It moves mountains, it creates opportunities, it opens doors no human could close. The truth is, money never left you. It was waiting for you to stop doubting yourself. It was waiting for you to stop shrinking. It was waiting for you to start speaking like a king or queen who knows their value. And when you rise, the flow begins to rise with you. This is why some people seem to attract opportunities again and again. They are not lucky, they are aligned. They are not chosen, they choose themselves daily. They walk in the belief that abundance is their birthright. And because of that belief, the universe keeps proving them right. You have to understand that money is not impressed by struggle. It is impressed by clarity. When you are clear about who you are and what you want, the world listens to you differently. Your actions carry weight, your energy carries power, your dreams carry momentum. That kind of energy is magnetic. It pulls people, resources, and wealth toward you because you are no longer trying to fit in. You are standing out like a beacon of certainty, and abundance gravitates toward certainty. The way light finds its way through darkness. Start declaring your worth with no apology. Stop hiding your greatness. Stop waiting for permission and start walking like the person who already carries the crown. Money doesn't show up for people who shrink, it shows up for those who expand, it bows to those who know they are worthy, and it multiplies for those who are ready to handle it with power, purpose, and gratitude. This is your moment to break free from the energy of lack and step boldly into the energy of abundance. It's not just about money, it's about becoming the kind of person money wants to follow, a person of vision, confidence, discipline, and faith, a person who walks with authority, a person who no longer begs but commands with love and certainty, a person who attracts money not by chasing it but becoming a living magnet for everything they desire. The moment you decide to embody that energy, the world around you begins to shift, and wealth begins to flow where it has always belonged to you. Money has always been more than numbers on a screen or bills in a wall. It is a vibration, it is energy, it is a reflection of the way you see yourself and the way you show up in the world. And until you understand that money responds to energy more than effort, you will always keep chasing what is meant to flow to you. When you align your mind with abundance, you stop begging for opportunities and start attracting them with grace and power. This shift is invisible, but it is magnetic. It is not about how hard you work. It is about how powerfully you believe, because money does not listen to fear, it listens to certainty. It listens to authority. It listens to those who declare their worth with no hesitation. The truth is, most people never receive the abundance they deserve, not because it isn't available, but because they keep blocking it with their own energy. They doubt, they fear, they shrink, they speak lack with their tongue, and expect abundance to answer their call, but abundance is not language of fear, it is a language of faith. Money does not chase noise, it follows clarity. It moves toward those who say with unshakable conviction, I am worthy of wealth, I am ready for overflow, I am a magnet for prosperity. When your inner world speaks power, the outer world has no choice but to respond. Think about it. The richest people in the world are not always the ones who work the hardest. They are the ones who understand how to align with flow. They know that when they walk with confidence, money walks with them. When they make decisions from a place of expansion, not fear, opportunities reveal themselves like hidden doors in a hallway that was always there. The problem is, most people never even walk down that hallway. They stand at the entrance, scared of what might happen if they claim their power. But wealth rewards boldness, it rewards clarity, it rewards those who are not afraid to rise. Money is not emotional, but it is responsive. It responds to the energy you give it. If you fear it, it will run. If you respect it, it will stay. If you value it, it will multiply. If you chase it from lack, it will hide. But if you attract it from power, it will flow to you like rivers to the ocean. Because energy recognizes energy. When you walk like someone who already carries abundance, you stop trying to prove yourself and start becoming a living magnet for everything you desire. The key is to rewire your inner conversation, because the words you speak create the world you live in. If you keep telling yourself money is hard to get, it will always run from you. But if you start declaring that money flows to you easily and frequently, the universe begins to match that vibration. This is not magic, it is alignment. It is the way creation responds to belief. When you shift your mindset from waiting for abundance to expecting it, everything around you begins to bend in your favor. Many people wake up every day working harder than ever, yet still feeling stuck, not because they lack ability, but because they lack belief. They do not see themselves as worthy of big blessings. They carry a beggar's energy when they were born with a creator's power. They keep asking for permission when they should be making declarations. The day you stop asking and start claiming is the day the world starts listening to you differently. It's not arrogance, it's awakening. It's remembering who you are. When you understand your worth, money stops being something outside of you and becomes something that flows through you. You no longer operate from scarcity, you operate from overflow. You no longer fear lack because you know abundance is infinite. You no longer chase because you know you are chosen to attract. The kind of energy that creates wealth is built from within. It's not about what you have, it's about who you become. Every time you declare, I am abundant, the universe takes note. Every time you speak with certainty, you build bridges to new opportunities. Every time you act like wealth already belongs to you, the invisible doors of possibility begin to swing open. The ones who win in life are not the loudest, they are the clearest. They are the ones who walk with unshakable belief, even when no one else sees what they see. They carry a vision that is louder than doubt and stronger than fear. Money, like a mirror, it doesn't show you what you want, it shows you who you are. If you see yourself as small, your reflection will be small. If you see yourself as powerful, your reflection will expand accordingly. The moment you upgrade the image you hold of yourself, you automatically upgrade the flow of abundance around you. This is why confidence is priceless. It is the currency before currency. It is the magnet that pulls everything you desire closer. The power to attract wealth has always been inside you. It was never about luck or external validation. It is about standing in your truth and deciding that you are done playing small, you are done hiding your light, you are done letting fear speak louder than faith. You are here to rise, you are here to lead, you are here to claim what already has your name on it. And the moment that decision is made, your energy shifts, your words shift, your actions shift, and the world begins to shift with you. This is your season to stop chasing money like it's running from you, and start embodying the energy that makes it run toward you. You don't need to prove you are worthy. You need to believe you are worthy. You don't need to wait for permission. You need to give it to yourself. Abundance is not coming to you. It is waiting for you to match its frequency. And the moment you do, everything begins to flow with ease, because money doesn't chase power, it follows it. And you were born to walk in that power. Money does not respond to hesitation. It responds to certainty. It does not flow toward those who whisper their dreams. It flows toward those who declare their vision with fire in their soul. When you step fully into your power, something changes in the way the world sees you. Opportunities that once passed you by start noticing you. Rooms that felt big begin to open their doors. Resources that once seemed far away begin to find their way toward you, not because the world suddenly changed, but because your energy did. Money is drawn to the frequency of strength and self-belief like metal to a magnet. People spend their lives asking why abundance seems to favor a few, but the truth is abundance is not playing favorites, it's responding to signals. Most people send out mixed messages. One moment they say they want more, the next they doubt if they deserve it. They pray for abundance but live in fear. They talk about wealth but vibrate lack. And money cannot land where there is confusion. But the moment your signal becomes clear, the moment your energy becomes unwavering, money knows exactly where to go. You have to understand that wealth is not something outside of you waiting to be earned. It is something inside of you waiting to be awakened. It's a vibration that gets activated the moment you decide to stop living like a beggar of possibilities and start living like the creator of your destiny. This is the switch that turns an ordinary life into an extraordinary one, not through force but through power. Power that comes from certainty. Power that comes from clarity. Power that comes from claiming what already belongs to you. The ones who attract money effortlessly are not always the ones who have the best strategies or the most resources. They are the ones who walk with an aura of unshakable belief. Their energy doesn't beg, it commands, not in arrogance, but in truth. They understand that abundance recognizes its own reflection. And when you carry yourself like wealth, lives in you. Wealth finds its way to you effortlessly because the energy is aligned, the signal is strong, and the universe listens to strong signals. Money, like water, it seeks the lowest resistance. When you carry fear, shame, guilt, or doubt about wealth, you build dams that block the flow. When you carry belief, confidence, and expansion, you become the open channel that allows abundance to pour in freely. Most people keep trying to push water uphill through struggle and effort, but the ones who master energy simply remove the blocks and let it flow naturally. It is not harder work that creates overflow. It is clearer energy when you stop seeing yourself as someone reaching for money and start seeing yourself as someone money reaches for. Everything changes. The way you speak changes, the way you walk changes, the way you show up in every room changes. You start making decisions from power, not panic. You start showing up like someone who already has access to abundance, not someone begging for a seat at the table. Your posture, your presence, your energy becomes magnetic, and money always follows magnetism. Every word you speak carries a frequency, and that frequency either attracts or repels wealth. If your language is filled with limitation, doubt, and fear, your energy will push abundance away. But when your words are soaked in certainty, power, and gratitude, you create a magnetic pull around you. This is why some people can walk into a room and shift the energy instantly. Their frequency is louder than their voice. They speak abundance without saying a word, because their energy does the talking. The most powerful shift you can ever make is to move from needing money to embodying abundance. The moment you stop chasing, you stop pushing it away. And the moment you align, you begin pulling it in. You move from a position of lack to a position of power, from uncertainty to inner authority, from hoping to knowing. And that shift is what makes money flow effortlessly into your life. This is not about arrogance, it's about awakening. It's about remembering that abundance is your birthright, that wealth is not reserved for the chosen few, it's reserved for those who choose themselves. You are not meant to live small, you are meant to expand your world. Your vision, your impact, and money is a tool that flows toward that expansion. It's not the source of your power, it's the result of your power. When you decide to walk in your full energy, the universe takes notice, because certainty is rare. Most people are living halfway between their power and their fear, but the ones who rise are the ones who burn the bridge to doubt. They decide that playing small is no longer an option, and that decision ignites a vibration so strong it cannot be ignored. When you walk like that, when you believe like that, when you speak like that, money doesn't just notice you. It runs to you because it has found its match. You were never meant to chase abundance, you were meant to become it. And the moment you do, the world will move mountains to meet the frequency you carry, because money follows power and power lives within you all along. Money moves toward those who know who they are, not toward those who keep waiting to be chosen. It does not flow to the hesitant, it flows to the certain. It does not answer the whispers of doubt, it answers the roar of belief. When your energy becomes undeniable, when your presence speaks before your words do, when your actions match power you claim, money has no choice but to respond, because it recognizes the vibration of someone who is ready, not just wishing. Every person carries an energetic signature, and that signature is what either attracts or repels abundance. Most people unknowingly broadcast like they say they want money, but their vibration is filled with fear and hesitation. They take small steps when they should be walking with boldness. They keep trying to prove their worth when worth was never something to prove. It was something to embody. Money listens to vibration more than words. It listens to certainty more than effort. And when you finally stand tall in who you are, the flow begins. This world doesn't reward the one who hides their power. It rewards the one who steps into it fully without apology. When you carry yourself like wealth lives inside you, abundance mirrors that belief back at you. Opportunity begin to appear. People begin to connect, doors begin to open, not because the world changed, but because your energy became louder than your doubt. The ones who attract wealth are the ones who no longer question their right to it. They claim it with calm strength. Money follows clarity, and clarity is born when you stop living halfway between your dreams and your fears. You cannot attract wealth while keeping one foot in scarcity and one foot in abundance. The universe does not respond to confusion, it responds to clean signals. When your energy is fractured, money does not know where to land. But when you choose a side, when you decide to walk fully in power, the frequency becomes sharp like a beacon, and abundance moves toward it. The moment you shift from wanting to knowing, everything changes. Wanting says maybe, knowing says it's already mine. Wanting begs, knowing attracts. Wanting waits, knowing receives. That shift is invisible but powerful. It doesn't need loud affirmations or external approval. It simply requires inner certainty, the kind that can't be shaken by circumstances, because it's rooted in identity, not emotion. When your identity vibrates abundance, the world mirrors it. You must understand that money doesn't follow effort alone, it follows energy. There are people who work all day and stay stuck because they operate from scarcity, and there are people who seem to attract wealth with ease because they operate from power. Energy is the difference, and power is a choice every time. You choose to stand in it, your magnetic field grows stronger. Money can feel it even before you speak, because energy doesn't need language. Stop treating money like a distant prize and start treating it like a natural extension of your power. When you see it as something that belongs to your flow, it stops running from you. You don't chase it anymore, you allow it in, because the signal you're sending says, I am ready, I am certain, I am already aligned. And the universe respects certainty. Your energy is the invitation. Abundance listens to the tone of your vibration, not the volume of your voice. It doesn't care how loudly you shout your dreams. If your energy whispers doubt, it won't come. But if your energy stands like a tower of strength, wealth can't ignore it. It has to move toward it, because it found resonance. This is why the powerful never beg for abundance. They embody it. They walk like it. Already theirs, they breathe like they are already blessed. They make decisions from overflow, not fear. Their presence alone speaks louder than their plans. Their energy announces their destiny. The day you stop needing proof is the day abundance begins to appear. The day you stop waiting for permission is the day doors start opening. The day you stop apologizing for wanting more is the day wealth starts to chase you, not because you forced it, but because you finally became a match for it. Money doesn't respond to the noise of insecurity. It responds to the silence of power. And when you find the silence within yourself, when you burn the bridge to doubt and stand fully in your identity, everything begins to shift. Opportunities flow, doors open, and wealth finds its way to your hands, because it was never running from you. It was waiting for you to rise to its frequency. Money listens to energy, not excuses. It flows towards certainty, not confusion. It follows boldness, not hesitation. The moment you stop tiptoeing around your power and start owning it, everything begins to shift. Money doesn't need you to chase it. It needs you to rise to its frequency, to speak with the voice of someone who already carries abundance in their blood. When your presence vibrates power, the world responds with opportunities. Doors swing open and resources move in your direction, not because of luck, but because energy recognizes energy. Most people never realize they are the ones holding the door closed. They let fear whisper lies that they are not ready, not worthy, not capable. They shrink their energy and expect abundance to find them. But money cannot land on shaky ground. It needs the stability of a strong vibration, a clear signal, a decision that says, I am ready. And when that decision is made, truly made, something shifts in the atmosphere. Everything starts aligning. Money is not loyal to struggle. It is loyal to strength. It flows where it feels safe, where it senses power, where it meets clarity. Struggle does not make you magnetic. Power does. When you walk in power, you don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to beg. You don't have to chase, because power speaks a language that money understands without words. The ones who attract money effortlessly are not better than anyone else. They are simply more aligned. They no longer waste their energy sending out mixed signals. They have burned the bridge to scarcity and planted their feet in abundance. They've decided there's no turning back. That decision radiates through everything they say, everything they do, everything they are. And money responds to that vibration like metal to a magnet. The shift is internal before it's external. When you see yourself as someone who chases wealth, it runs faster. But when you see yourself as someone wealth runs toward you, it begins to show up in unexpected ways. Opportunities, connections, ideas, inspiration. Everything starts bending toward your energy, because the universe mirrors what you believe. You don't need to beg for abundance. You need to become the version of yourself that attracts it effortlessly. You need to walk like you already carry it, speak like you already have it, breathe like overflow is your normal state. Because when you live like that, your energy grows louder than your words, and money listens. Money doesn't chase noise. It moves toward clear, unwavering energy. When you are torn between doubt and belief, your signal is weak. But when you are anchored in certainty, your energy becomes unmissable. It doesn't matter if no one believes in you. The universe believes in vibration, and vibration never lies. Every time you act from fear, you push wealth away. Every time you act from power, you pull it closer. Fear says, what if it doesn't work? Power says, watch me make it work. Fear looks around for permission. Power creates its own lane. Fear waits for opportunities. Power builds them. This is why Wealthy think differently. Their power is internal, not borrowed. You are not meant to live in a cycle of chasing and surviving. You are meant to embody abundance and let it flow toward you. When you step into your power fully, when your energy stops apologizing for wanting more, the world bends in ways you couldn't imagine, because the moment you rise, the frequency shifts and money feels it. This is your reminder that you are not asking too much, you are asking too small. You are not unworthy, you are unaligned, you are not unlucky, you are unclaimed. The moment you claim your place as the source, not the seeker, everything changes. Money stops being something far away and starts being something that naturally flows through your hands, because it recognizes its match. Power isn't loud, it's steady, it's calm, it's magnetic. And when your energy carries that stillness, money moves without resistance, not because you chased it, but because you became it. You became the frequency, you became the magnet, you became the place where abundance belongs. And the universe always finds its way back to power. Money follows power, not pressure. It flows to those who know, not those who hope. It listens to the vibration of someone who has decided, not the one still asking for permission. When your energy stands like a mountain, steady, unshakable, and certain, money feels it and moves toward it like water flowing downhill. It doesn't resist power, it surrenders to it. This is why the moment you rise into the fullness of your identity, abundance begins to rearrange itself to meet you. You have to understand, money is not impressed by hustle alone, it's drawn to the frequency behind it. There are people who work endlessly yet stay stuck because their energy is rooted in fear and scarcity. And there are those who work with clarity and confidence, and money follows them effortlessly. The difference is not effort, it's vibration, it's alignment. It's the unshakable decision that says, I am already abundant, I am already chosen, I am already the one. Power is quiet, but magnetic. It doesn't scream, it radiates, it doesn't chase, it pulls. And when you become that kind of energy, wealth can't help but notice you. It doesn't need convincing, it doesn't need begging, it simply responds, because abundance recognizes its reflection when it sees it. If you carry lack, the universe reflects lack. If you carry power, the universe reflects power. And wealth is a mirror. The ones who attract money are not living with a plan B. They have burned the bridge to doubt. They don't entertain lack. They don't flirt with fear. They don't play small. They carry themselves like abundance is already in their blood, because they know the energy they hold creates the world they walk in. They're not waiting for proof. They are walking like proof, and proof always finds those who refuse to waver. Money does not respond to the noise of desperation. It responds to the silence of certainty, that calm, unwavering energy that says, I already belong to the life I see in my mind. That power that says, I don't need to chase. I attract that belief that stands tall, even when the results haven't shown up yet. When you can hold that vibration, wealth begins to run toward you. Every time you doubt yourself, your frequency weakens and money feels it. But every time you stand in your power, your energy sharpens like a beacon calling abundance home. Money can't resist a clear signal, because clarity is magnetic, hesitation is heavy, and power is light. The more you hold power, the more effortless the flow becomes. Money isn't waiting for the perfect time, it's waiting for the real you, the version of you that isn't shrinking to fit in or apologizing for wanting more, the version of you that speaks abundance with your walk, with your breath, with your choices. When you step into that version, the world bends to your energy. It's not about shouting affirmations with shaky belief, it's about walking like the future is already yours, speaking like overflow, lives in your lungs, moving like wealth is the natural response to your presence. When you do this, money doesn't trickle in, it pours, because the vibration of power opens gates that effort alone can't. You must remember, you are the source, not the seeker. You are the magnet, not the chaser. Money doesn't live outside of you, it flows from within you. When your inner world vibrates abundance, your outer world mirrors it effortlessly. What you believe about yourself is what wealth believes about you. If you see yourself as powerful, it will trust you. If you see yourself as small, it will stay away. This world is not waiting for someone to be perfect, it's waiting for someone to be certain. The day you stop negotiating with your power is the day everything changes. The day you decide abundance belongs to you is the day abundance decides you belong to it. The day your energy says yes without flinching is the day money flows without force. So stand tall, not in arrogance, but in truth. Breathe like abundance is your normal move, like wealth is already yours, and speak with the tone of someone who doesn't hope but knows, because money doesn't chase noise, it follows power, and power is who you've been all along. You just needed to rise and let the world feel it.